In the remote edges of the Andromeda Galaxy, the space station Sigma-7 hummed with life, its metallic walls echoing the voices of a diverse crew. Here, humans worked side by side with creatures from various planets, united in their mission to explore and study the cosmos. Sigma-7 was a hub of intergalactic research and diplomacy, a place where knowledge flowed as freely as the starlight that bathed its corridors. Among the crew was Dr. Eva Torres, a young astrophysicist from Earth, known for her brilliant mind and unquenchable curiosity. Her latest project was to analyze the atmospheric compositions of newly discovered exoplanets, a task that often kept her awake long into the station's artificial nights. But tonight was different. Tonight, she was restless for another reason. The cause of her excitement was the expected arrival of a delegation from Thalax, a planet known both for its lush, bioluminescent jungles and its secretive inhabitants. The Thalaxians were enigmatic, their society a complex tapestry of traditions and technology, much of which they kept hidden from the rest of the galaxy. Their visit to Sigma-7 was a rare event, spurred by a new alliance that promised to open doors for both science and diplomacy. As Eva adjusted the sensors in the observation bay, the space around Sigma-7 began to ripple with the energy of an incoming spacecraft. She watched, heart racing, as a sleek silver vessel emerged from the folds of space, its surface shimmering like the skin of a sea creature back on Earth. It was unlike any design she had seen before, reflecting Thalaxian innovation and their deep connection to their environment. The airlock hissed open, and a delegation of Thalaxians glided through. Their movements were graceful, almost floating, as if the gravity of Sigma-7 was a mere suggestion. They were taller than most humans, with skin that shimmered with a subtle glow, reflecting their bioluminescent heritage. Their eyes, large and expressive, held the mysteries of their distant world. Leading the delegation was Commander Lyra, a figure of authority and beauty, her presence commanding immediate respect. Her skin was a vibrant blue, speckled with hints of green that pulsed gently with her heartbeat. Her attire was a blend of Thalaxian tradition and practicality, designed for both diplomacy and the rigors of space travel. "Welcome to Sigma-7, Commander Lyra and esteemed delegates," Eva greeted, stepping forward. Her voice was steady, but her mind was awash with questions about Thalaxian sciences and the potential for collaborative research. "Thank you, Dr. Torres," Lyra replied, her voice musical yet carrying a strength that resonated in the enclosed space. "We are pleased to be here and look forward to fruitful exchanges." As the formalities concluded, the group moved towards the conference room, but Eva noticed one delegate lingering behind. This Thalaxian was different, younger, with a curious gaze that swept over the human technology surrounding her. Her skin was a lighter shade of blue, and she seemed less guarded, more open to the world around her. Eva approached, extending a hand. "I'm Eva. Do you need help with anything?" The young Thalaxian hesitated, then smiled, accepting the handshake. "I'm Aaliyah. I was just admiring your work. I've heard much about human astrophysics but never seen it up close." Their conversation flowed easily, with Eva explaining her research and Aaliyah sharing snippets of Thalaxian technology, which, though advanced, had a symbiotic relationship with their planet's ecosystems. Eva was fascinated. Aaliyah's descriptions painted a picture of a world where science and nature intertwined seamlessly. As the night progressed, Eva felt a connection that went beyond professional curiosity. Aaliyah was intriguing, not just for her knowledge, but for her perspective, which challenged and expanded Eva's own views. The promise of learning from each other was thrilling, sparking a desire in Eva for more knowledge, more understanding, and, perhaps, more of Aaliyah's company. As they parted ways that evening, Eva's mind was alight with possibilities, not only about the potential scientific advancements, but about the personal connections that seemed just within reach. Little did she know, the coming days would bring challenges and revelations that would test her skills, her diplomacy, and the depth of her new friendship with the intriguing Thalaxian. The universe, as vast and mysterious as it was, felt a little smaller, a little warmer, as Eva looked forward to the morrow. The following morning, Sigma-7 buzzed with renewed energy as the conference officially commenced. Eva and Aliyah found themselves collaborating on a presentation about the potential for joint exploratory missions to uncharted sectors. Their ideas were bold, proposing the use of Thalaxian biotechnology to enhance the sensory capabilities of human spacecraft, enabling them to detect and analyze cosmic phenomena previously beyond reach. As they worked together, Eva marveled at Aliyah's insight into biotech interfaces. Aliyah, in turn, was equally impressed by Eva's theoretical knowledge, which allowed her to suggest modifications to Thalaxian designs that could improve their efficiency in human-operated environments. "Imagine integrating this biotech into our navigational systems," Eva suggested, sketching out a rough diagram on a digital pad. "It could potentially allow us to feel spatial anomalies before they become visible or detectable by conventional instruments." Aliyah studied the diagram, her luminous eyes reflecting a mesh of circuitry and star maps. "And if we adjust the bioemission sensors like this," she said, adding her own modifications, "we could enhance the resolution, giving you a clearer picture of the stellar formations." Their collaboration drew a crowd. Crew members from various species leaned in, their expressions ranging from skeptical to intrigued. Questions flew, challenging and probing, but every answer Aliyah and Eva provided showed a seamless melding of their fields. It was a dance of intellect and intuition, pushing the boundaries of what was considered possible in space exploration. Later, as they prepared for a live demonstration of a prototype sensor, disaster struck. A power fluctuation, brief but intense, swept through Sigma-7. Lights flickered, screens blanked out, and the prototype emitted a sharp, distressing squeal before falling silent. Panic was instant among the assembly. Sigma-7's engineer team rushed to diagnose the issue, fearing a major malfunction that could jeopardize the station's safety. Eva and Aliyah exchanged a glance, understanding the gravity of the situation. Without the prototype, their project was in jeopardy. But more importantly, the station's stability was uncertain. With a calm that belied her racing thoughts, Aliyah suggested, "Let's manually recalibrate the energy flow. Thalaxian tech can handle surges, but it needs to be adjusted carefully." Eva nodded, impressed with Aliyah's composure. Together, they opened the prototype's casing, exposing a network of bioluminescent circuits intertwined with silicon-based chips. Aliyah's hands moved with practiced ease, adjusting connections and recalibrating settings, while Eva monitored the energy readings, ensuring they stayed within safe limits. Their efforts were not in vain. Slowly, the prototype hummed back to life, its sensors glowing softly as they stabilized. The crisis averted, relief washed over the crew, and applause broke out among the onlookers. Eva and Aliyah shared a triumphant smile, their teamwork having not only saved their project, but also potentially prevented a station-wide emergency. Flushed with success, they returned to the conference room, where their final presentation awaited. As they presented their findings and demonstrated the now functioning prototype, the potential of their joint venture became clear to all. Proposals for further collaboration poured in, with several species expressing interest in adapting the biotech sensors for their own use. As the day wound down, Eva found herself beside Aliyah, looking out at the star-strewn space from the observation deck. The cosmos stretched endlessly before them, a tapestry of light against the dark, promising infinite mysteries yet to be uncovered. Aliyah turned to her, a soft glow emanating from her skin in the dim light. "Today was a glimpse of what we can achieve together, Eva. The unknown seems less daunting when shared." Eva felt the weight of her words, realizing that this collaboration might just be the beginning of something revolutionary, a melding of worlds and technologies that could change the course of interstellar exploration. As the stars twinkled silently, a pact was silently forged between human and Thalaxian, between Eva and Aliyah, under the watchful eyes of a universe that was all too eager to reveal its secrets. The enthusiasm from the successful demonstration had barely faded when Eva received an urgent communication from Sigma-7's command center. An uncharted anomaly had been detected near the outer rim of the Andromedan sector, a phenomenon that didn't match any known cosmic structures or patterns. The command urged Eva and Aliyah to investigate, given their successful integration of Thalaxian biotech into the sensory apparatus. Preparing for the expedition, Eva couldn't help but feel the surge of adrenaline mixed with a pinch of apprehension. Space was beautiful but merciless, and anomalies like these were reminders of how little was truly known about the vast darkness that surrounded them. The small, sleek shuttle they boarded was equipped with the latest adaptation of their sensor technology. Aaliyah, checking the systems one last time, looked over at Eva with a reassuring nod. "All systems are green. Let's see what the universe has in store for us." As they approached the coordinates of the anomaly, the sensors began to react, their readings erratic and beyond expected parameters. The shuttle's cabin was bathed in a soft, pulsating light from the sensor panel, casting eerie shadows. Aaliyah's fingers danced over the controls, adjusting settings with a precision that betrayed her usual calm demeanor. "This is unlike anything we've cataloged," Aaliyah murmured, her focus intense. "The patterns are almost organic in nature." Eva leaned over the readings, her mind racing to match any known natural phenomena with what they were witnessing. Could it be a form of cosmic life? Something alive out here in the void? The possibility was thrilling as much as it was terrifying. If true, they were on the verge of a discovery that could redefine life as understood by the galactic community. The implications were vast, potentially unraveling new sciences, new technologies, and even new philosophies. As they drew closer, the anomaly suddenly shifted, expanding and contracting like the beating of a heart. The shuttle trembled, caught in the gravitational pull of the anomaly. Aaliyah worked feverishly to stabilize their course, but the shuttle was drawn inexorably closer. "Strap in!" Aaliyah shouted over the growing whir of the shuttle systems. "This is going to get rough!" The shuttle shook violently as they entered the outer edges of the anomaly. Outside, the cosmos warped, stars stretching into long streaks of light. Inside, every alarm was blaring, the sound almost drowned out by the roar of energy surrounding them. Then, as suddenly as it had begun, everything stilled. The anomaly stabilized, and the stars outside returned to their normal pinpricks of light. They were inside the anomaly, surrounded by a swirling mist of color and light that defied description. It was as if they had entered the belly of a celestial beast, enveloped in a cocoon of cosmic energy. Aaliyah and Eva exchanged a look of mixed awe and fear, their breaths shallow as they awaited what might come next. But nothing more happened. The sensors, however, were recording data at an unprecedented rate, capturing every nuance of their incredible surroundings. "We're safe for now," Aaliyah finally said, her voice a whisper in the profound silence. "Let's gather as much data as we can. This could change everything." They spent what felt like hours documenting their surroundings, their shuttle a tiny island of technology in the midst of incomprehensible natural wonder. When they finally maneuvered out of the anomaly, the transition back to normal space was gentle, almost reluctant, as if the universe itself was loath to let them go. Back on Sigma-7, their return was met with a flurry of excitement and concern. They were debriefed immediately, their data downloaded and analyzed by the best minds on the station. In her quarters, long after debriefings and celebrations had faded into the quiet solitude of the night, Eva pondered the day's events. Beside her, the data scrolled endlessly on her screen, a digital echo of the anomaly that might very well be the first recorded evidence of cosmic life. The implications were overwhelming, the questions numerous. But one thing was certain. The universe was far more mysterious and wondrous than she had ever imagined, and she was right at the heart of its latest enigma. In the wake of their unprecedented encounter, Eva and Aaliyah found themselves at the center of scientific fervor on Sigma-7. The data they had collected was being analyzed by teams of experts, its secrets peeled back layer by layer. But as the hours turned into days, a peculiar pattern emerged, one that none of the station's top minds could decipher. The anomaly, it appeared, wasn't just a passive formation. It was reactive, changing its properties based on their proximity and the energy output of their equipment. This discovery propelled the team into a new realm of speculation. Was it sentient, or merely responding to external stimuli like some vast cosmic organism? Aaliyah, ever the scientist, proposed a bold plan. What if we send a series of controlled energy pulses into the anomaly? We could measure its responses and perhaps begin to communicate. Her idea, though risky, was approved by Sigma-7's council. Preparations began immediately for what would be the station's first attempt at communicating with a cosmic entity. The energy pulses would be varied and patterned, mimicking the complexity of language in its most fundamental forms. As the pulse emitter was charged, Ava felt a tension build within her. This was uncharted territory, a step beyond the boundaries of known science. She glanced at Aaliyah, who was monitoring the energy levels, her face illuminated by the soft glow of the console. There was a determined set to her jaw, a fire of curiosity in her eyes that Eva found both inspiring and comforting. The first pulse was sent, a ripple of energy that traveled through space to caress the anomaly. They waited, breaths held, eyes fixed on the sensors. The response was almost immediate, a return pulse, simple yet unmistakably deliberate. Excitement crackled through the control room. They sent another pulse, this time varying the frequency. Again the anomaly responded, its pulse more complex than the last. A pattern began to emerge, a sort of call and response that grew increasingly sophisticated with each exchange. Hours passed as they continued to communicate with the anomaly, each member of the team alternately jubilant and awestruck by the implications of their work. They were possibly the first to make contact with a non-biological, possibly sentient cosmic entity. As the session drew to a close, the anomaly did something unexpected. It emitted a series of pulses that, when translated by their instruments, formed a clear and repeating sequence. The data was raw and encrypted in a form they didn't immediately understand, but it was structured, intentional. This could be a message, Ava speculated, staring at the screen where the sequence scrolled endlessly. Maybe it's trying to tell us something, perhaps about its nature or origin. The possibility of receiving knowledge from a cosmic entity that might have existed since the dawn of time was staggering. Aaliyah was already sketching out ideas for decoders and algorithms that could help unravel the message. As the station's best cryptographers joined the effort, Eva and Aaliyah's role shifted to one of support. They provided insights into the anomaly's behavior, theories on its possible intelligence, and helped simulate environments for testing various decryption techniques. While the cryptographic team worked tirelessly, Eva found herself drawn back to the observation deck, staring into the depths of space where the anomaly had first appeared. The stars seemed different now, not just points of light, but potential beacons of other entities, other intelligences waiting to be discovered. Her thoughts were interrupted by Aaliyah, who joined her at the viewport. "It's incredible, isn't it?" Aaliyah said, her voice soft. "We've opened a door we didn't even know existed. Whatever comes next, it's a new era for all of us." Ava nodded, her gaze still fixed on the stars. "A new era indeed," she agreed, feeling the weight of their discovery and the infinite possibilities that lay ahead. They had touched something ancient and profound, and in doing so had changed the course of their own lives forever. The cryptographic team labored for weeks, their efforts to decode the anomaly's message unfolding like a digital archaeological dig. Each layer they peeled back added complexity to the puzzle, revealing more about the potential intellect behind the pulses. Ava and Aaliyah remained integral to the project, their initial contact with the entity providing crucial context for the ongoing analysis. During one late-night session, a breakthrough finally came. The sequence, once thought to be merely repetitive data, was a set of coordinates, an invitation or perhaps a map leading to locations unknown. The realization that they were being guided by the anomaly sent ripples of excitement and concern through Sigma-7. Coordinates to where exactly? Eva pondered aloud, staring at the three-dimensional star map hovering above the console, pinpoints of light indicating the suggested destinations. Aaliyah, who had been running simulations of potential travel paths, looked up, her face alight with the thrill of the unknown. They're spread out, across different sectors, some in charted territories, others in regions we've never explored. This could be a test, or it might be sharing knowledge leading us to other phenomena or even other entities like itself. The decision to follow these coordinates wasn't taken lightly. The implications of venturing into potentially dangerous or diplomatically sensitive areas had to be considered. After extensive debates, the Council decided to send probes to the less risky coordinates first, keeping manned missions on hold until they had more information. Eva was assigned to the team overseeing the probes. She watched as they were launched, each equipped with a replica of the biotech sensors that had first communicated with the anomaly. The waiting game began anew, each day stretching long as they awaited signals from the far reaches of space. During this period of anticipation, Eva spent long hours with Aaliyah, discussing not just their work but their hopes and fears about what they might discover. "What if we're not ready for what we find?" Eva asked during one of their late-night talks, the stars a silent audience outside their window. Aaliyah considered this, her gaze thoughtful. "I think the better question is, can we afford not to explore? Knowledge, especially of this kind, has its risks, but ignorance might be the greater danger." Eva nodded, knowing Aaliyah was right, yet the weight of responsibility felt heavy on her shoulders. This was no longer just about scientific curiosity. It was about the potential destiny of their species and interactions with unknown cosmic entities. Finally, signals from the probes began to trickle in, data packets bursting with raw sensor readings and images of places no human or Thalaxian had ever seen. Some revealed new natural wonders, nebulae that painted the void with vibrant colors, black holes ringed with celestial fire, and cold, rocky planets with the barest signs of developing atmospheres. One probe, however, sent back something entirely unexpected: visuals of an artificial structure, large and sprawling, clearly designed by an intelligent species. It was located in a quiet sector of space, nestled within a dying star system, its purpose a mystery. "This changes everything," Eva stated, as the images were displayed in the command center. The structure was unlike any architecture known to the galactic community, its design both alien and hauntingly beautiful. The Council convened urgently, and it was decided that Eva and Aaliyah would lead a manned mission to the structure. Preparations were made with a mix of haste and caution. The potential risks of such an encounter weighed against the necessity of understanding who or what had built such a monument in the depths of space. As their ship approached the coordinates, the structure loomed large against the backdrop of stars, its surfaces smooth and reflective, like a mirror to the cosmos. It was eerily silent, no signs of life or activity visible as they docked with the facility. Inside, the air was stale but breathable, corridors stretching deep into the heart of the structure. The walls were lined with symbols, cryptic and beautiful, hinting at a civilization both advanced and enigmatic. With each step further into the unknown, Eva and Aaliyah realized they were not just explorers, but witnesses to a history not their own, a legacy left by those who had traveled the stars long before humans or Thalaxians had even looked up at the sky. What they found within those walls would challenge the very understanding of their place in the cosmos, a truth waiting in the silent shadows of the alien structure. Inside the alien structure, Eva and Aaliyah moved cautiously, their lights cutting through the darkness of long-abandoned corridors. The air was thick with the dust of ages, and every surface they touched seemed imbued with the echo of those who had once lived there. The symbols on the walls grew more intricate as they delved deeper, each one a testament to a civilization obsessed with the cosmos and its myriad mysteries. Their first major discovery came in what appeared to be a central chamber, a vast room dominated by a holographic projector that, surprisingly, still functioned. When activated, it displayed the galaxy, a galaxy as it had been eons ago, marked with routes that suggested extensive exploration and perhaps colonization. It was a map of an empire that had spanned the stars, now vanished but for this ghostly echo. Aaliyah, ever meticulous, documented every symbol, every line of the map, correlating it with current star charts. "This civilization, they were explorers like us," she mused aloud. "But something happened, something that wiped them out." The clues to that mystery lay further within the structure. In a room that Eva thought of as a library or archive, they found data crystals, storage devices that, when accessed, revealed logs and records of the civilization. The language was unknown, but the images were clear enough: a thriving society, then a cataclysm of cosmic proportions, a supernova that had been both spectacle and apocalypse. "We need to bring this back," Ava said, a sense of urgency in her voice as she gathered as many data crystals as they could safely transport. This knowledge, it's not just their legacy, it's a warning. As they prepared to leave, a final room awaited them, one that seemed different from the others. It was smaller, more intimate, and on the far wall, a single inscription glowed faintly under their lights. The translation took time, but the message was worth the wait. "To those who find this, know that we once reached for the stars, as you do now. Treasure this world, your people, for the cosmos is vast and beautiful, but it is also perilous. Remember us, not as we ended, but as we lived, striving ever outward." Touched by the sentiment, Ava felt a kinship across time with these long-lost explorers. They returned to Sigma-7 with their findings, greeted by a flurry of excitement and awe. The news of their discovery spread through the galaxy, a reminder of the fragility of civilizations and the enduring quest for knowledge. In the weeks that followed, Ava and Aaliyah led efforts to decipher the data crystals fully, sharing their findings with the broader scientific community. Their work opened new fields of study, ancient linguistics, stellar archaeology, and more. But beyond the academic accolades and the flurry of research, the experience had changed them. Looking out at the stars from Sigma-7, Eva realized how small and interconnected they all were in the grand tapestry of the universe. The legacy of a long-gone civilization had been passed to them, a torch in the dark, guiding them to continue their exploration with both caution and wonder. As they watched a new dawn breaking over the horizon of a nearby planet, Aaliyah turned to Ava, her voice soft but filled with resolve. "Let's keep going," she said. "For them, for us, and for the countless generations to come who will look up at the stars with dreams of what lies beyond." Ava nodded, her heart full. "For the stars," she agreed, her eyes on the vast unknown, ready to meet whatever challenges it held, armed with new knowledge and a profound sense of purpose. Together they stepped forward, into the future, their path illuminated by the legacy of those who had navigated the cosmos long before them.